USDA. That sounds ring a bell? Has Jerry's signature on it, and they need the other attorney's signature on it right here.
Seats. We'll begin the meeting in a few seconds. Oh, Mary. At this time, I'd like to call our meeting to order. I would like to ask that we all rise. Before we start our regular agenda, we'll have a short commemorative concerning the attack on Pearl Harbor 75 years ago. At this time, I would like Mr. Harry McCauley, World War II veteran, to please help us and lead us in the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Please remain standing for the pledge for the national anthem. We have the Acadian. We have the Acadian Middle School Choir. So you may now lead us in the national anthem. Thank you. You may now be seated. Before we go on, I would like to recognize two of my fellow veteran board members and ask if they may have any comments. Mr. Eric Knizik.
75 years ago today, our nation endured an attack that lasted only 110 minutes. In that 110 minutes, 2,335 American servicemen were killed, 1,143 were wounded, and it brought the United States into World War II. During that conflict, the United States lost 291,557 who were killed in combat. Another 113,000 were killed in other operations. That's over 405,000 U.S. servicemen killed. Another 670,000 wounded. The United States sustained over 1 million casualties during that war, with another 30,000 missing. So I brought those facts up just so that we remember today the sacrifices that truly our forefathers endured so that we might have the freedoms to agree and the freedoms to disagree in a public forum like today. So thank you.
Recognize our other veteran, Mr. Bitletchley.
I'll follow Mr. Knezek with that. The only thing I can say is thank you to America's greatest generation. Without you and your sacrifices and everything you endured, we would probably not be sitting here as a free country today. And I hope we never forget the sacrifice of these people, men and women, who fought for this country and those who died for this country, because let us never forget, freedom is not and never will be free. And I thank you with all my heart.
Thank you very much, my fellow veterans, and I just have one comment that was brought up hearing most of my young and adult life. If you can read, thank a teacher. If you can read English, thank a veteran. At this time, we would like for the unit commanders from Acadiana High School and Como High School ROTC to please make a few comments.
To Dr. Aguilar, school board members, district leadership team, and guests, I am Cadet Lieutenant Commander Carrie Zering from Como High School Navy JROTC Academy.
And I am Cadet Colonel Kyra Hall from Acadiana High School Air Force Junior ROTC Academy.
75 years ago, a bright Sunday morning was darkened by the unprovoked attack on Pearl Harbor. Today we honor the memory of more than the 2,400 American patriots, military and civilian, men, women, and children, who gave their lives in our first battle of the Second World War. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families for whom this day is deeply personal. The men and women of the greatest generation went to war and braved hardships to make the world safer, freer, and more just.
On National Pearl Harbor Day, Remembrance Day, we pay tribute to the souls lost 75 years ago. We salute those who responded with strength and courage in service of our nation, and we renew our dedication to the ideas for which they so valiantly fought. As they stormed through the beaches of Normandy and planted our flag in the sands of Iwo Jima, our brave service members rode back the tide of tyranny in Europe and throughout the Pacific theater. Because of their actions, nations that once knew only the blinders of fear saw the dawn of liberty. On this solemn anniversary, there can be no higher tribute to the Americans who served and sacrificed 75 years ago today. Now let us watch the historical video.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The facts of yesterday and today speak for themselves. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph, so help us God. I ask that the Congress declare that since the unprovoked and dastardly attack by Japan on Sunday, December 7th, 1941, a state of war has existed between the United States and the Japanese Empire.
Thank you. And one last part of our little mini ceremony, I would like to ask that any and all veterans in the audience please rise just for a minute. Let's give them welcome. Merci pour votre service de notre bel pays. Thank you very much for your service to our beautiful country. I'm going to declare a 5-minute recess so that everyone can get back to, if you guys have to go to from your back to your school or whatever, and anyone else who is here who may have another meeting to attend or some other function to go to will do so at this time. Before we leave, I'd like to recognize, I guess I could call him my colleague, Dr. Huey McCauley, who was former president of this school board. I don't remember what year, Doc. I was just a baby, but his picture's on the wall, and like me, what he did was he put his high school graduation picture. Thank you.
Oh, Tommy, you don't have any sweat?
What, making reservations? Okay. All right, we will resume our meeting, and I would begin by asking our superintendent if he has any opening comments. Dr. Aguilar?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Congratulations to the Lafayette Parish School System staff and the Central Office, La Rosen and Vermilion Conference Center. They pulled together and contributed to FoodNet Food Bank. They collected over 1,150 pounds of food and made that donation. Congratulations also to Judy's Middle School counselor Anita Poole for completing her doctoral program. She will graduate with her PhD on December 16th from the University of New Orleans. Northside High School was the recipient recently of 20 e-reader electronic tablets thanks to Literacy Incorporated. The project was funded through ticket sales at the Fright Trail in Scott. 200 e-reader electronic tablets. What did I say? 20. I'm sorry, 200. This Friday, December 9th, the Navy Junior JROTC cadets at Ove Como High School will undergo their NJROTC inspection by retired Captain Ray Bias. The inspection begins at 8:20 with the presentation of colors in the boys' gym, followed by personnel inspections. At 9:45 a.m., NS1 unarmed drill team demonstration awards with inspection officer remarks will occur. Board members, I invite you to try to attend that portion of the inspection. For more information, contact Unit Commander IT Charles Young at Como High School. And once again, that's Friday at 9:45 a.m. at Como High School. Congratulations to 20 French immersion students from Myrtle Place Elementary School. Under the direction of vocal instructor Jimmy Louis Marie, the students performed songs at the Governor's Mansion on Friday, December 2nd with the governor and service personnel and families affected by the recent flooding. Governor Edwards had a good laugh when the students could not sing because they saw Papa Noel coming down the stairs. The students were so delighted performing for the French Christmas at the Governor's Mansion that they will be returning on December 20th to perform for a private fundraising event at the Governor's Mansion. We are absolutely pleased to announce that the Lafayette Parish School System had 576 teachers pinned on Wednesday, November 30th. Thanks to the Lafayette Education Foundation's Pin Patrol, 576 teachers were recognized as LEF Teacher Award winners. There are 4 categories in which finalists have been chosen from LPSS. In the elementary division, Bridget Begnaud from J. Wallace James, Ashley Cagle from J. Wallace James, Lisa Richards Fleming from Catherine Drexel are finalists in the elementary category. In middle school, Larry Cockrell from David Thibodeau STEM, also Julie Condi from LPSS Homebound, and Andre Desitel from Judy's Middle are middle school finalists. High school finalists are Roxanne LeBlanc, LPSS Homebound teacher, Christian McCory from Lafayette High, and Scotty Walker from Lafayette High. And in the inspirational category, Lindsay Belfour from Catherine Drexel, Chris Cormier from LPSS Homebound, Sherry Holloman from Lafayette High, and William Quinn from Woodvale Elementary. On Thursday, January 26th, the top finalists will be chosen in each category at the Hyming Performing Arts Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aguilar. The following are information reports. I'm sorry. Recognition of winners of the first annual recycling logo contest. Ms. Samick?
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm going to have Dr. LeBlanc do the presentation. Thank you.
Now you can hear me. Well, welcome. Hello, my name is Dr. LeBlanc, and I am here to present to you President Angel, Vice President Morris, and the rest of the board members. This is kind of a continuation of our recycling event for those of you that were present earlier, and those of you that were unable to attend. It was actually quite an interesting event. We had a really good time. We had some cake and some coffee earlier after our event, but one of the things that we did as a district-wide initiative with our recycling program is we held an art contest. Dr. Aguilar and I were speaking some time ago, and he said, you know, we need a logo. And I said, sure. But the problem was I didn't know how to come up with a logo, and so Ms. Guidry and I, the art specialist, decided that we were going to do an art contest. We needed to put it into the children's hands and get the entire district involved, and so that's what we did. We put it out there that we were looking for a blend of recycling and our logo from Lafayette Parish School Board put together. And so we put it out there, and we received lots of applicants. We received lots of entries, and they were beautiful. I have to tell you, students in this district are some of the most talented kids that I have ever met. They're so creative. They have such value to what they come up with in terms of the thought that they put into it. It was a really hard decision, but we did come up with a first, second, and third place winner for middle and high school. We had 2 of those categories. And so I will now present to you the going from third, second, and then first place winner for high school first and then middle school. You will be able to now be presented to the winners. And the first place winner receives a t-shirt that has the logo on it. And then as time goes on, we'll actually have those t-shirts available to you to purchase, but we haven't really gotten that far, okay? All right, so third place in our middle school division for our first annual recycling logo competition for 2016 is Alexis Alejandro. And Alexis is from Judy's Middle. She's in the 6th grade. And her teacher is Olivia LeBlanc. The second place winner was unable to attend today, but his name is Elijah Ardoin. He was an 8th grade teacher at Lafayette Middle, and Teresa Bouchereau was or is his teacher, but unfortunately he has moved to another district. So, Ms. Teresa? First place winner for our middle school division is Kavandrick Bonham. He is an 8th grade teacher, or 8th grade student at Lafayette Middle, and Miss Teresa Bouchereau is also his teacher. And we're also presenting to them not only their certificate, but if you were here earlier, the little cards that we created for memorabilia. Okay, so if we could have our group picture for middle school. Come on, back up. And hold your logo cards up, guys, so that you can get those in the picture too. Yeah. Good job. All right. All right, for high school, our third place winner is Corey McCaw. She's a senior at David Thibodeau STEM Magnet Academy, and her teacher is Shelby Brill. Good job, Corey. Our second place winner was Nadia Turkey, a 12th grader at Acadian High. Unable to attend today, but her teacher was or is Sarah Life Flores. And our first place winner in the high school category is Tristan Schexnayder, a 12th grader at Northside High, and her teacher is Liz Abear. And if we could have our high school people back up for a group picture. Where's Corey? Are they up there? There you go. You got booted. Oh. And teachers and community members, board members, central office staff, thank you so much for supporting this. It was super fun, and I have to tell you, it was, what they came up with was just absolutely amazing. So look for it on our website. I think Mr. Blaine's going to put it up there for us. So thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Following are information reports, item 3.1. Notification of the board's intent to consider ordering and calling an election to authorize the issuance of general obligation bonds and/or the levy of an ad valorem tax and/or the levy of sales and use tax in the parish or in a sales tax district. Mr. Knezik?
As we've discussed on numerous occasions, we have an epidemic problem here in Lafayette Parish regarding temporary classrooms. Over the last several decades, we've accumulated temporary classrooms and become reliant on temporary classrooms in our district to the point where we have nearly 500 temporary classrooms in the district. 20% or 1 in 5 classrooms in this parish is a temporary building. And by temporary, that's a relative term in this parish because some of these buildings have been temporary for 3 to 5 decades. I think it's time that we act, not talk about action, but actually take action. It's time that we all come together as a school system, as a business community, parents, staff, faculty, and we decide to invest in a school system that's worthy of our students.
Thank you, Mr. Knezik. Anyone else have any comments concerning our proposal? Thank you, Mr. Knezik. Moving along, Northside High School's second annual Big Dave Classic Basketball Tournament. Dr. Chasson?
If you don't mind, I'd like to change the order up slightly. Coach is coming from the actual tip-off event, so I wanted to give him some time to get here. So,
Just get my attention whenever you come here. Okay, no problem. Item 3.3, Fair Labor Standards Act, Court Injunction, New Mandates. Ms. Thibodeau?
Mr. Angel, if I may, just a quick clarification. Back in May, the Department of Labor did adjust overtime legislation, rules, guidelines, and those adjustments were made on employees' base salaries and a duties test. At the first meeting in November, the board approved a new non-exempt administrative pay grade in preparation for that guideline that was to go into effect last Thursday, December 1st. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, a federal judge in Texas put an injunction on enacting that new rule. So our policy has been approved. We're in line with what the feds are going to require if and when the injunction is lifted. Either way, if they don't lift the injunction, if the judge would overrule the new regulations, our new policy is still in line. Nobody loses money. Nobody loses a job. In fact, 11 employees will be eligible for overtime for time worked after 40 hours. At this point, we're just in a holding period. Wanted to let you all know, kind of waiting for guidance from the federal courts or the federal government.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Item 3.4 is personnel changes for December 7th.
Yes, sir. We do have one introduction tonight. We have a new itinerant principal at Ernest Gillette, and they'll split time with G.T. Linden. I'm going to introduce Miss Denise Dina Hodge. Ms. Hodge earned a bachelor's degree of general studies from UL Lafayette and a master's degree of education in curriculum and instruction from UL. Ms. Hodge has 20 years of experience in education. She served 10 years as a classroom teacher in St. Martin Parish and 2 years as a classroom teacher in Lafayette Parish. Also, she has served at the Louisiana Department of Education Regional Service Center as the Title I School Improvement Coordinator, and most recently, her position has been with our district in the Title I School Improvement Strategist position, where she's served for the last 10 years. She's now moving from the central office to a site-based school to assist with the administration at Ernest Gillette, G.T. Linden. And congratulations to Ms. Hodge, if you'd like to come to the podium and say a couple words.
I'd like to thank this, is this on? No, it's this one. Sorry. I'd like to thank the school board members, Dr. Aguilar, Ms. Aloisio, Ms. Fontenot, Ms. Shagwar, the ones that interviewed me, and also Tom for giving me all that great experience, Tom Spencer. I'd like to thank them for giving me this opportunity. I hope that I'd be able to use my skills that I've learned with data and my experience in the classroom to assist these two great schools to have continued growth. And I also want to learn from these principals that are amazing that I'm working with. Thank you.
The following are introduction items. I'll read them, and they'll be on next meeting's agenda for action. 4.1, Community Garden MOU. 4.2, professional school counselor job description. 4.3, approval of the revised job description, non-public liaison. 4.4, technology department job description updates. 4.5, policy GAMJA, accommodations for breastfeeding mothers. 4.6, revisions to policy GAM3, miscellaneous conditions of employment. 4.7, general fund budget revision, adding yearly expenditure of $35,000 to Science Cost Center for Acadiana High, Ove Como High, and David Thibodeau STEM Academy Robotics, team expenses and sponsor stipend. Next group of items are time-sensitive action items. The administration is respectfully requesting that we add these items to our action items, consent items, so I would read them and I would entertain a motion after which that we add them to our action item agenda. 5.1, LPSS Coordinated School Health Wellness Policy. 5.2, revision of policy EDD school bus scheduling and routing. And 5.3, budget revision requests for pre-ACT tests.
I'd like to make a motion that we move 5.1, 5.2, and 5.3 to the action part of our agenda.
Second.
I have a second by Mr. Hidalgo. Thank you, Mr. Latchley. Any questions or comments concerning the motion from members of the audience? Any comments or questions from members of the board? If not, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
Nine for, none against.
Okay, motion carries. We will now move on to the approval of the, or action on the action consent items. I will read them, and any of you who wish to have any of them pulled, please so indicate. 6.1, new principal job description. 6.2, clarification regarding the name of the non-traditional school. 6.3, hiring of principal at Edward J. Sam School. 6.4, Edward J. Sam School staffing and budgeting. 6.5, general fund budget revision, request from technology positions. 6.6, the purchase of property for a new elementary school in Broussard. 6.7 Academy of Health Careers. 6.8 Sales Tax Collection Report for October of 16. 6.9 Approval of quotes for Boucher Elementary Concrete Driveway. 6.10 Approval then to advertise and receive bids for Milton Elementary Middle Additions and Renovations Project. 6.11 Approval to advertise and bid Child Nutrition Services Freezer Building. 6.12 Approval to advertise and receive bids for Como High School Restroom Renovations Project. 6.13 Approval to advertise and receive bids for Scott Middle replace underground chilled water and hot water piping. 6.14 Approval of sidewalk bridge servitude Acadiana High School. 6.15 Approval of modular building lease package for Westside Elementary Temporary Campus. 6.16 Approval of architect for Westside Elementary Temporary Campus site work package. 6.17 Adding staff at Westside Elementary School. 6.18 Cooperative Endeavor Agreement for Northside High School Gym Floor Refinishing.
Pull that, please.
We'll pull 6.18. And then these are going to be at the end, right?
Yeah, we're getting ready.
We're going to, it's 5.1, I mean, whatever it is, 6.19, whatever it's going to be, is LPSS Coordinated School Health Wellness Policy. I think it's going to be 6.20 is going to be revision of policy EDD, school bus scheduling and routing.
Pull that, please.
You want to pull that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And 5.3 would be budget revision request for pre-ACT test.
Mr. President, I move that we approve all action items with the exception of 6.18, and I guess that would be 6.21.
I'll second.
The motion is seconded by Ms. Morrison.
2.0, I'm sorry.
That we approve all items not pulled. Any questions or comments from members of the audience? Questions from members of the board? Yes, ma'am. Ms. Morris?
I just want to thank the city of Broussard for their willingness to contribute to the purchase of the property for a new elementary school in Broussard, and to recognize that we do have some of the city of Broussard councilmen here in the audience with us tonight.
Mr. Johnny Foco and Mr. Ray Bork.
Welcome and thank you again. Thank you. Yes, sir. Mr. Centeni?
To second what Ms. Morris said, I'd really like to thank the BO company, the city of Broussard, the superintendent, Mr. Hidalgo, everyone involved with this that worked so hard to find this plot of land and be a partner with the school system and help us serve the children of Broussard and give them the education that they need. So thank you very much.
Sir, Mr. Centeni, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then we're going to vote on the acceptance of all the items not pulled. Madam Secretary, we're ready. Bus scheduling and routing. Oh, 6.18.
9-4, none against.
Okay, motion carried. At this time, I would recognize Mr. Eric Knezek concerning 6.18, cooperative endeavor agreement for Northside High School gym floor refinishing. Mr. Knezek?
Mr. President, I move that we authorize the superintendent to negotiate the cooperative endeavor agreement for the Northside High Boys Gym floor refinishing.
And we have a second by Mr. Broussard. Dorothy, any questions or comments concerning the motion from members of the audience? Any from members of the board? If not, Madam Secretary, we'll call for the vote.
Oh, there it is.
Eric? Jeremy?
We may have to re-vote, and while doing that, I'd like to recognize Mr. Knezek.
Dr. Aguilar, while we're tallying votes again, regarding this, I was wondering if you could come up with maybe some recommendations or recommended, gotta vote again, policy that doesn't have to necessarily be a policy. It can just be your standard operating procedures so that we can use opportunities like this to encourage businesses to contribute and to donate to the needs of the school system. We have significant needs in the school system, and there are very generous companies out there. And I think that if we could formalize or standardize a way that businesses know that they could have the opportunity to be recognized for their contributions to the school system, that we might encourage more contributions. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'll do that.
I voted twice.
Wait, I can.
What'd she say?
Eric. Nine, 4, none against.
All right, motion carries. We'll move on to the final item on our agenda, which is revision of policy EDD, school bus scheduling and routing. Mr. Knezek?
I recommend we approve the policy with one exception. I would like to change the word shall back to may on the third line.
I'll second that motion.
Any questions or comments from members of the audience concerning the motion? Members of the board, you want us to do it out loud, Madam Secretary? We can voice vote? You want us to voice vote on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed likewise. Motion carried. Let me point out that that's the final item on our agenda. Let me point out that this will be our last meeting of the month and of the year. So the next time we meet again will be in 2017. And with that, I didn't pre-warn my fellow members, but I've never met someone who's elected that was afraid to speak in the first place. So as such, I would like to know if we have any parting comments for the year, and I would start with Dr. Chassel.
Yes, sir. I actually, let me apologize. I gave Coach a call. They're actually finishing their tip-off dinner, and I wanted to formally invite everyone to Northside. Over the next 3.5 days, there's going to be some incredible basketball being played at Northside High School. Top teams in the state, top teams out of the state, and I can just start with Peabody, Washington, Marion, and Northside. So if you guys would like to please come and show your support, it's going to be amazing. We'll feed you. We'll take care of you. Coach wanted me to make sure to echo that. And besides that, just Merry Christmas to everyone. As a quick side note, my brother and I are having our, gosh, I can't even remember what annual one this is. There's been so many. Our toy drive, where we take time to make sure that kids who aren't going to get anything for Christmas are going to get something for Christmas. And we've given away everything you can think of, all the way down to us choosing individual gifts that are wrapped underneath our Christmas tree. Even though we know what it is, our kids have to pick Christmas gifts. And about 2 years ago, my daughter picked a PS4. And family members looked at me and said, "You know what she just picked, right?" I said, "Yeah, I absolutely know what she just picked, but it's not about that." So if anyone would like to donate any toys, any bicycles, any coats, and any bit of uniforms, anything at all that you can think of that any kid in need would need, please just contact me. My cell phone number is 337-315-9234. And besides that, Merry Christmas, everyone. And I love everyone's sweaters, including Mr. Broussard. You've got great taste, sir.
Mr. Dago?
Yes, sir, Mr. President, thank you. I do want to say that this year has been a fun, exciting year, but most importantly, it's been a very successful year for the school system and for the school board. We've accomplished a lot, and the superintendent, his staff have as well. I'm really looking forward to 2017. I just want to say Merry Christmas to each of you and all the staff, parents, students. Merry Christmas. See you next year.
Well, I will echo, this year has been just wonderful. We have made great advances. Our school system is moving forward, and it's so exciting. It's exciting to work with Dr. Aguilar, our superintendent, that is just an awesome leader. Thank you for everything you do. The board, we work well together. We have our differences, but then at the end of the day, we continue to work together. The community that we serve has been very supportive of us, and we hope that you continue to be supportive of us. Thanks to our teachers, our parents, our students, that have all worked together so that we can advance as a school system, and that is to be accounted for. But Merry Christmas to everyone. I'm very excited about serving on this board. I'm looking forward to next year, and we will continue our success as we move to an A district. And Merry Christmas to everyone, and Happy New Year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I did want to specifically, I guess, acknowledge some of the huge accomplishments that we've achieved this year. I think number one is the SPS scores. Dr. Aguilar, I mean, your leadership and I think it's 7.1 points. That is absolutely tremendous. Rezoning, I think, this board, we set out as a goal to accomplish something that was very controversial and something that was very difficult politically. And we decided to do the right thing and to zone the parish the way it should be zoned. Building the first high school in our parish in over 4 decades. And I think most importantly, reestablishing the public confidence in the school system, I think, is a tremendous accomplishment. And I'd like to thank Ms. Morris and Mr. Angel for your leadership over the last couple of years, and it's been an honor to serve with all of you. Thank you.
Ms. Morris?
There's no need to repeat what my fellow board members have already said. I think that we've made tremendous progress over the 2 years we've been sitting, and I anticipate fully going full steam ahead over the next 3 years. Happy holidays to everybody.
Mr. Latchley?
I'd like to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, safe holiday season, and a Happy New Year. It's been a pleasure. We're finishing our 2nd year, and we'll be moving into the 3rd year of our term. Exciting things are happening. Look forward to it, and see y'all in January.
I'll take a different tack and say that at the end of our 2nd year, when we all came in, 23 months ago, that I would like to thank Mr. Angel and what may end up being his last meeting as school board president for knowing the ropes well more than any of us did at the time, and kind of keeping us pointed in the right direction and on task. So thank you very much, sir.
You're quite welcome. Mr. Broussard?
I think there's no need to say what already have been said. We accomplished a whole lot in the 2 years. We have been members as school board members, and we're looking forward to a banner year next year. We have made some tremendous gains, made some difficult choice, but it all paid off. I think, like Mr. Knitzer said, we have earned the trust of the public, and we're looking forward to continue earning the trust of the public. And I need to say it on the 3rd Monday of every month, I have a town hall meeting, as do Mr. Santana. And on the 19th of December, instead of meeting, I would like to invite all of you to somewhat of a Christmas social where we're going to recap the accomplishment we have made in 2016 and set an agenda for 2017. Just a casual, informal, year-ending thank you, Merry Christmas, and Happy New Year. Oh, at Martin Luther King Center. 6 o'clock.
Thank you. Dr. Aguilar, you have any parting comments? I know you had opening one.
Obviously, Merry Christmas to everyone. I want to acknowledge Broussard Middle School Art Department. I think we all ended up with an ornament from the art class at Broussard Middle School. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Samek, you want to make a comment?
Thank you. In the words of my husband, following my vows at our wedding ceremony, ditto.
Mr. Craig?
I wish everybody a great holiday. It's a pleasure to work with you all and the team and staff. So it's been an enjoyable 18 months.
Mr. Guidry, you want to make a comment? I'm sorry, I skipped you.
Not a problem. Just want to wish everyone a happy holiday and a safe holiday as well. Thank you.
And I want to welcome back Mr. Hammonds. Bob, nice to see you around. I'll be brief. I want to thank my fellow board members for their cooperation. Not only this year, but the year before. I think we had great energy, we had great synergy, and we worked well together. I want to thank Dr. Aguilar and his staff for all the work that they do. I also want to thank every single employee of the Lafayette Parish School Board. If you work for this school board, I appreciate what you've done, and I appreciate what I know you'll do in the future. Thank you very much. I wish everyone a Merry Christmas. This meeting is adjourned.